gigantic thing.
Hey guys, it's Bruno here, and I want to share this amazing build with you that I've put together, which is my Poison Pathfinder, which uses a combination of both crossbow skills as well as bow skills, and it is super versatile, as you have seen. You can literally put on any bow skill or any crossbow skill, and this build works amazingly. Even skills like Ice Shards, which I haven't seen anybody in this game play, and I think there's one person on POE Ninja that is using it, and this build absolutely destroys the game with a skill like Ice Shards. And you would have seen Shockburst Rounds as well. Most people use that just as a single target finisher offerer as a skill, but you can use this as a machine gun playstyle using Shockburst Rounds. And any kind of playstyle you want. You can use Cascades, you can use Ballistas, you can use grenades, you can use bow skills like the standard Poison Arrow. Why would you play normal Poison Arrow when you can play this build, which includes Poison Arrow and 20 other skills that you want to play? It's absolutely phenomenal, and it's pretty much it's a very easy build to put together as well. So how does this build work? Essentially, we have our standard bow for a Poison Pathfinder, which is no different to any other Poison Pathfinder that you've seen, similar with the quiver and everything else. So the gear is all very cheap. There's nothing crazy about this build. It's just a very standard build which is scaling poison damage. So everything is poison, and we're scaling poison magnitude essentially. So the plague finger gloves here are absolutely essential. This is what's converting all of our damage to poison damage, and so all we need is some good initial damage, and this creates poison, which we scale with magnitude, and everybody all monsters die incredibly fast, and we spread that poison as well through our heralds that we're using. So we've got the standard Herald of Blood setup going on with my crossbow. I've got Herald of Plague, Wind Dancer, Ghost Dance, nothing too crazy about that. But I absolutely love running Blasphemy, and so I'm running Blasphemy with Despair here, just to add some further chaos resistance reduction, which is great. And then my last spirit is actually just for some single target, where I can switch to our bow, and when I'm doing that, I actually turn off my Herald of Blood and Herald of Plague, because this is for single target only, and I simply dodge roll, and out pops my Mirage Archer, come back to a grenade or my other skill, and Mirage Archer goes off, my Heralds come back on, but the Mirage Archer then shoots out my Toxic Growth, and so it's great for single target damage. The other thing that we do for single target damage as well is pop an Artillery Ballista, and the Artillery Ballista is fantastic because we apply bleed, which is just another great way of scaling damage, and we can use that for you know, in our main skill we've got more magnitude of poison against bleeding enemies. We can also apply blind, we can also apply an extra poison as well. So we get up to 10 poisons on enemies with this build, so including with Artillery Ballista, and also on my crossbow I've got the Idol of Thraldana, which adds targets can be affected by another poison at the same time, and it just shreds bosses, including pinnacle bosses as well. So all pinnacle bosses have been destroyed using this build. We do need a bit of spirit to make all of this work. So what I do have in terms of gear is I'm running a Warrior Invictus Grand Regalia, and what I have on here is plus 10 spirit per socket field, so I'm getting 40 spirit on my chest here, and then my amulet as well is another 47 spirit, so that's 87 spirit I'm getting just from these two pieces, which is great. This amulet that I'm showing you now as well, it was just a +2 to level of all projectile skills up until just a couple of days ago, and it was totally fine, absolutely destroying all content. I thought, why not? There's so many dips floating around in this league, I may as well upgrade to a +3, and that's what I've done. Haven't really noticed any difference, to be honest. It's still just the same, just destroys all content, but why not have a better piece of gear? It's great. Boots are standard, rings are standard. We're just looking for flat damage and resistances. It is quite a nice quality of life on this ring as well, having recover 3% of maximum mana on kill. Just means that you're pumping mana flasks a lot less, because some of the skills that you do use do chew up a lot of mana. So for example, skills like gas grenade or gas arrow, for example, do use a lot of mana, and so this helps quite a lot if you want to use those skills as your main target, main damage source. What I find with this build is probably the best and most effective skills to use are probably armor piercing rounds. I just love the feel of running around with machine gun. Absolutely fantastic fun. You've got Galvanic Shards, works very, very nicely. And all you need to do for whatever skill, you simply, everything stays the same except for whatever main skill you want to take out. Pop in your new skill and simply swap over the gems. So we want to make sure that we're always using deadly poison, so we want to scale that magnitude of poison as much as possible. That's 100%. We want to make sure we're actually poisoning, so we need that chance to poison, and this also has magnitude of poison inflicted against bleeding enemies. We've got the bleed, so we're adding that bleed. Elemental Armament is great. If you can also run with a Rigroll's Ferocity if you like, and add that in, so you're reducing your attack speed, but you're getting more damage. Or you can just get the flat elemental attack damage as long as you have elemental damage on your gear. And then I like to run with Pierce as well with Galvanic Shards, or even you don't even need Pierce with Galvanic Shards. You could even add in just extra damage here and go for a Rigroll's Ferocity or any other gem of your choosing. And that's simply it. Then now I can run with Galvanic Shards, and I can do that with any other skill that you choose. So choose any skill. I like to just simply, I've got a lot of skill gems up here now that you can see we've been playing with. Ice Shards, I would say, is probably one of my favorites. Like I mentioned, no one in the game is playing with this, but it is such a fun skill to run around and play with. So with this skill, you don't really need Pierce, obviously. You chuck on just chuck on more damage. So basically, you're setting these shards up everywhere, and as soon as enemies walk into it, they get poisoned and explode. And then that starts the chaining effect of everything else. There's really not much more to say, except for the skill tree. So the skill tree, again, there's nothing too fancy going on here. what we're utilizing is going to the Sorceress's starting point to move towards melting. That just gives us some nice energy shield buffer, so at 2,500 here. And then in terms of jewels, we're just really scaling that magnitude of poison. So again, I've got magnitude of ailments and poison on this one. I've got magnitude of ailments and poisons on this one. For here, I decided to get a Time Lost Emerald, again with magnitude of ailments and magnitude of poison. And I've just been able to pick up a few nodes here, which we get benefit from for other reasons too. And my last jewel down here is a Heart of the Well. Again, I've got 26% of damage as extra damage here, but again, just until recently I was running with just 20%, which is totally fine. And so nothing in this build is too crazy or too over the top. And if you find that any of these numbers are too expensive, so for example, if you're looking for this jewel, for example, has 24% increased magnitude, just look for one that's 20% magnitude or 19% magnitude, and it's dramatically a lot cheaper. I am running with a Headhunter. Headhunter's just totally fun, and why not? But if you want, you can simply go for a super cheap option. I think I picked this one up for like 1 div. A Darkness Enthroned, which is great. You just want one with high increased effect of socketed gems, and I just slotted in a increased magnitude of damaging ailments. So with this one, you can see if I slot that in, I'm getting another 39% increased magnitude. And the only time I really utilize this is if I'm wanting to see how fast I can kill a pinnacle boss, essentially. But there's really no need, because we're killing, Sesh to 3 in under 10 seconds anyway. So what you want to do for single targets is simply pop some grenade arrows. Sorry, not grenade arrows. So gas grenades. Pop them off. You want to pop your artillery ballista. Quickly switch to what have I got? My basic bow shot. So I'm switching to my obliterator bow here, and then dodge rolling to pop my Mirage Archer. And that all happens pretty quickly. So you go grenade, artillery, pop your Mirage Archer, and away you go. You can just run around if you like and watch the boss die, or if you like, you can attack him. So that's pretty much it. Feel free to leave any questions. This build is super fun. Had a lot of fun with it. It is super versatile. You can make it as you wish, play around with any of the skills. Why would you choose one skill when you can play over 20 and just play it all with the one build? It is incredibly fun. So that's it, guys. Cheers.